I'm sure you know how important live video is. Let me back up. You probably know how important video is, right? I mean, well, let me share a stat with you right off the bat. Check this out. 88%. Check that number out. People will spend 88% more time on websites with video. So the question is, you got video? But really, and I tipped my hand at the beginning, we're talking about today live video, specifically live video ideas that you can do right now. Now, I'm telling you, they don't have to be that hard, but I don't know, sometimes it seems like when we talk video, that's one thing. Then we talk live video, and that really freaks people out. So today, I'm going to share with you some reasons why you need to be thinking about live video. And then I'm going to give you 5 ideas, 5 kinds of videos, even live, you could do right now. And if that's not enough, you need to stick around because I'm going to show you what can go wrong with a great blooper involving moi. And I'm I'm the moi. So, we're going to be talking about live video, and if live video's got you feeling like this, no! Then you want to stick around because we're getting ready to start the show right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. Well, howdy do. My name is Kevin, and I'm with Kevin Colby Media. Got the nice shirt to prove it. Hey, I paid for it. Might as well wear it. But I'm so pumped you are here for the Explore, Share, Impact video show because we're all about helping you explore your gifts and share your story and impact the world. So every week, I am live on Facebook, and actually starting this week, also going to be live on YouTube. So Facebook, if you're watching there, obviously you know it's at Kevin Colby Media, and my YouTube channel is at Kevin Colby. So either way, I'd love to have you pop in, say hey, make sure you ask any questions, especially if you're thinking about video. I do want to throw this plug in while we're talking about it. Please consider joining the Facebook group, Explore Your Creative Gifts. That's it, and it's kind of a way to dive a little deeper into just some of the things we're going to talk about today, where we can spend more time encouraging each other and checking some things out. So that's on the Facebook group. I would love to have you there. Now, I want to go back and share this stat. People will spend 88% more time on websites with video. Now think about that. That's amazing. Now you may be saying, well, it depends, but I mean there's a ton of stats, and like stats are like anything, you can figure out, kind of you can skew them either way, but here's the thing. People like to go on and check things out. I mean, that's the way I am. I'm a huge fan of YouTube. The way I use YouTube is I'll search something out. In fact, in one of the upcoming shows, I'm going to give you more of an in-depth look at my live streaming setup. You can actually go to, it's kit.com, live streaming gear, I think is it, but it's kit.com at Kevin Colby Media, and you can see everything I'm using, including what's called a stream deck, and that's how I'm doing things like bringing my name in and things like that. I also use software called Ecamm. It is absolutely phenomenal. It's Mac only, but I'm telling you, it is the thing. In fact, somebody said the other day in the group, they were like, well, man, I would love to do that, but I don't have a Mac. And several of us at the same time said, well, get a Mac. That would be the type thing to do. But today we do want to talk about live video. Now, you may be saying, Kevin, because remember that's my name. Kevin, what's the big deal about live video? Video in general. Now, look, this is nothing against produced video because I have worked with some amazing clients, and I just love producing video myself. In fact, I maybe in another show, I did a video a few weeks ago, probably my most personal video ever, called Max and Elias. And Elias is our little dude who has special needs, and Max is his buddy at school. It's on YouTube if you want to see it. Facebook, my page too. But that's a produced video. It took a little longer to do. So why the big deal about live video? Well, one of the things is it's actually faster to do. Now, yeah, I'm doing this right now live on Facebook and YouTube. And by the way, pop in and say hey, and if you've got questions, let me know. And if there's anything you want to dive in more, let me know. Be happy to chat about that. But the thing about live is live can be faster and cheaper and quicker. Faster, quicker. I think it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But here's the thing, though. In reality, is that yes, I put time into this show. I come up with ideas, and based on what people are asking me and what I think they're looking for and what I'm interested in too. Because keep in mind, I mean, the whole point of this show is to explore gifts and share your story and impact the world. And that applies to me too, because I'm the same way. I'm still learning and trying to explore and figure out the gifts I have and how to use them. So that's the beauty with live. So I don't want to pretend like there's nothing to do. Now, when I'm talking live video, I'm talking live video that can be beneficial to your business. And when I say business, I include nonprofit organizations. I have a heart for nonprofit organizations and work with a lot of them. So that too. But it can also be important to your brand and you. I'm not necessarily just talking about, grabbing your phone and saying, hey, I'm by the pool. But then again, maybe you should. Because I do think you need to be thinking about the value. So when I do this show, I really think about, okay, what is it something that people have asked about or they're curious about or I think I can help you with? And then I expound on that. Now, that's another reason to join the Facebook group because we're going to go deeper into it. But everything that I'm going to show you today, I produced in a short amount of time that I can show you during the live stream. But to do a produced video, maybe we'll get into the Max and Elias video one day, and I'll show you a little bit more about what it took to put that together. Not an enormous amount of time, but not like live. The other thing is, too, and maybe we'll talk about gear. Let me know if you want to talk more about gear as well. But you don't need a lot of fancy gear. Now, again, I would strongly recommend using Ecamm because it just works, and that's how I'm broadcasting right now. And I'm actually, this is the first time ever I'm using a program called Restream.io to actually be able to stream live to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So first time ever I've been live streaming on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, hey, and be kind. I did use extra conditioner this morning. But you don't have to have fancy gear. You can have this to go live. There's so many different ways. But I want to share something with you. And this should prove, I think, the power of live video. So check this out. 80% of people would rather watch live video than read a blog. Just let that sink in. 80% would rather watch live video than read a blog. Now, I have a blog, and actually I used to do a more of kind of, it's still out there, a faith-focused blog, and I have friends that blog, and they don't have any desire in video. This is nothing about blogs, and I have a podcast. But live video, more people would rather watch that. Why? I think it's immediate. You can come back into it. It's also shared more. It doesn't have to leave you. When you think of live video, it doesn't have to be like this. No! I just love it. Anytime you can get like a screaming goat, that just tickles my heart. But live video doesn't have to be like that. Yes, it can be scary. And remember, stay tuned because in a little bit, I'm going to show you a blooper that happened live on a show that we just wrapped up that I used to host called Two Guys Talking About. And because I think you need to understand when you're going live, one of the things about it is real. A few weeks ago, right on this show, I have what I call a dummy battery. So the camera I'm using right now is a Canon M50. Phenomenal camera. I've got two of them. One is back there. But the dummy battery is basically a power source you plug in, and it just makes sure you have constant power. Well, here was the problem. I didn't plug that in. Had it sitting on my desk, had a regular battery in. Battery died. Everything froze. But thankfully, I still had my webcam on. And here, I'm going to show you the webcam right now, just quickly. So there's the webcam. Hello. Hello. But you can see the difference. This camera is way better. You can see me rub my nose. It's probably much better. But it happened. It happened, and guess what? You roll with it. But before we end today, make sure you stick around. I want to show you the blooper because I want you to see that, yeah, things happen sometimes when you're live streaming. But there's an energy there that just online video and when you mix in the live, oh my word, it just changes everything. Everything. So if you're not considering it, after this is over, I really want you to consider. Now, you may say, well, but what kinds of video? Well, that's the other thing I promised you. I'm gonna show you right now 5 types of video that you can do. Now, they don't have to be live, but you could do them live as well, that you could do right now. Now, where can you go live? We're not going to get into that right now, but there's so many places. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, there's Twitch, there's Snapchat. I don't use, there's TikTok, there's Twitter. I primarily do Facebook, and now this is the first one on YouTube. And again, drop me a line, say something about the broadcast if you had a question or how I'm doing it, or anything that will help you get started in live streaming. Now, if maybe you've been doing it for a while and you want to up your game, hit me up and let me know. You can always send me a comment or a DM or something like that. We'll talk about that too. But I'm telling you, live video changes everything. And the more you do it, the easier it is. Now, a little about me. So my background, I've been in media for forever. I mean, I started in radio before I got into TV. So my first probably live, actually that's not true, when I was probably 8, I was on the Bozo Show. True, I was on the Bozo Show, and I actually won a little gumball machine because I got to be on the Bozo Show and we were racing the cars around. So that may be my first live ever. But when I got into radio, obviously that was live. Then I got into television and worked at several stations, and we're in Raleigh, North Carolina now. And so being in front of a camera just is not something that bothers me. And then a year or so ago, I was on a radio station in Raleigh for a bit. So again, going live, it just gives you an energy feel that you won't get any other way. Now, when you go to produce video, especially live, it's okay to practice. I mean, I'll be honest, I've practiced this a couple of times. I put my feed in private and just on, I think only me, it's on Facebook, just so I could test out a couple of things and make sure I had everything right. But don't do that too much, because the more you do it, you're going to think, I don't know. And then eventually, it's just going to keep you from doing. So what are the 5 things you could do right now? Well, let's get into it. Here we go. These are 5 types of live video you can do right now. And we can talk briefly about each one. Behind the scenes, how to, a time-saving tip, a special announcement, and FAQ. So think about this. Behind the scenes. People love behind the scenes. You could easily, again, you can use your phone. You don't have to have a big camera, but if you do have a camera, that's great too. But show them something behind the scenes. Like later today, I'm going to be over at some friends of mine that own a studio in Raleigh, and we're co-producing an online course together. So I could easily live stream from there and say, hey, let me show you a little bit about what we're doing. That would be great. Another thing is a how-to. How do you do something? I did this in a recent show about how to use Canva to do animated graphics. Like, for example, this graphic I just showed you, the one I'm using with the 5 things, completely done in Canva. I typed it out, and they have an animate button, and you can watch that video. I'll link it somewhere, and it's on my Facebook page. But it's just very, very easy. So maybe whatever you do or whatever your company does, you can say, hey, we want to show you how to do that. And that would work too. A time-saving tip. What is something that you do that saves you time that somebody else might be interested in? Well, that would be the type thing that you could share with somebody. A special announcement. So think about this. I started to say big announcement, but let's make it a special announcement. So let's say that you're a real estate agent and you've got something big coming up about a house you're going to show, or maybe you're going to do a whole month with a slashed rate or something like that. If you are, call me. We may be looking. But that could be a special announcement, but it doesn't have to be selling something. It could be that, you've done some custom t-shirts and you want to announce that. Maybe you work for a nonprofit and you've got some big guest that has agreed to come to your event. That would be something you could do. That would be easy. And then also an FAQ, which all it stands for is frequently asked questions. Now, again, if you noticed on the graphic, live is in parentheses. The reason is because you can do all of these as video. You could do them produced, you could do them live, you could do a combination. So what I would suggest, let's take frequently asked questions. Questions that you get asked a lot, or questions that you answer. So I'm a huge notes guy. It's the app on Mac. I'm a huge notes guy. And I have a folder, called, by the way, that'll show you it's live. I just burped. Hey, it happens. But I have a folder called questions. And it's questions that I have been asked, or I have answered, or I've researched. So imagine whatever your business is. Let's say you run a garage and people are asking you different things. Well, maybe you do a live FAQ about, hey, so the question I get asked all the time is, how often do you need to change your oil? See, I don't, because I go to a garage. But that would be the type thing. So again, check these out. These are 5 types of video live you could do right now. Behind the scenes, how to, time-saving tip, special announcement, and FAQ. So what I'd like to know are, what are your ideas? Because there's tons and tons and tons of other ideas that you can do right now for live. I will tell you, one of the benefits of going live is the fact that you get to show you're real. Look, here's the thing. I am certainly not perfect, and most of you that know me know that. I do have good hair. I'd just like to point that out. But it allows people to see a side of your personality that you might not show them when everything is so dressed up and professional. I'm not talking about just bad live video. I'm talking about video that just allows you to show people a glimpse into your life. And there's so many platforms you can be on. I wouldn't try and be on platforms you're not comfortable with. I love YouTube. I love Facebook. I love Instagram. But I haven't even gone live on Instagram yet. So again, one more time, the 5 types of video you can do right now. Behind the scenes, how to, time-saving tip, special announcement, FAQ, and let me tell you, right now, there's a lot more. So if you have more ideas, let me know what you think some ideas are. Or if you have some questions about, well, Kevin, I'd like to do this, but I don't know how. Be happy to. So earlier in the show, I promised you that I would show you a blooper. Now, let me set this up. And first of all, let me say that you need to know going into live video that things happen. They just do. I mentioned about the camera going out. I've seen people that have mega audiences and things just don't go right. In fact, I worked at a television station where we launched HD when it was a big deal at the time, and we spent all this money and all this time promoting it, and right as we go live, it didn't work. The animation didn't play, the lights were too bright, and it was a fiasco, but yet we went on with it. So things are going to happen, and you just got to roll with it. So let me set this up. So I have co-hosted and produced a show called Two Guys Talking About, and my co-host was Bill Jordan, who is a radio legend in the Raleigh market and probably even nationwide too. So we've done 2 seasons now. The first season was all produced. We would shoot like a month worth of shows in advance. And then what we would do is I would come back and edit them, and then we would post them. And at that point, we were doing Facebook and YouTube. And by the way, the both channels still exist. So you can go to YouTube and look up Two Guys Talking About, or you can go to Facebook and look it up. So we took a break, and we thought, what do we want to do? We want to come back and do another season. And Bill was on radio for 30 years. So he is far more comfortable probably with live than me. And I've done live and didn't mind. So I said, hey, Bill, let's just go live every week. There's an energy there that we can get. It's more immediate. We can answer people if they're popping in and talking. And there's a side benefit to going to live is that you'll get sometimes more viewing post live. I know it's crazy, but it's the way it works. And the comments that just keep rolling in, you've just got to connect with people. So what I'm going to show you now, it's about 2 minutes, but I think you'll get a kick out of it. I hope so. I still chuckle. So it was, we went live on Mondays, and this was the Monday of the NCAA championship game with Virginia, and I completely forgot who they played, Cavaliers. And Bill went to Virginia. So, this is actually how it played out, and just check it out.
I don't know. I'm just pulling for Virginia.
Melinda says, "Go Hose." Hey, Bill.
Go Hose. Go Who's.
Oh, sorry. Hey, that would. Okay, so I would like to. I'd like to apologize to the entire campus of Virginia. I think we've lost Bill for the rest of the show. Oh, so next week, taking Bill's not gonna be the same. I just made your day, didn't I? Oh, I'm crying.
Oh my gosh. That is my ab workout for the month.
Oh, so if you're listening to this on podcast and you're wondering why there's this long gap,
I'm crying.
Oh.
Hey, Hose.
Okay. So, first of all, to anyone that's ever gone to Virginia, I apologize. I think I'm pretty witty, but I'm really not that witty. If you ever wondered if this show is planned out and we practice this, I think we just proved that we don't. Oh my word. Michelle, thank you, Michelle. Michelle's saying what a great time to chime in. Oh, so it's Who's, like Whoville.
Surprise, Kevin, yes.
So there you go. And the funny thing is we would laugh and laugh and laugh about that. It was live. I never thought about it. The comment came in, I put it up, and I said it, and it was we still laugh about it. But you know what? It happens. And those are the type things that you have to roll with. We actually got a lot of engagement, and it was totally unintentional. But here's a quote I want you to think about. You don't always need a plan. Sometimes you just need to breathe, trust, and let go and see what happens. Don't know who Mandy Hale is, but I like that quote. So, if you've been thinking about doing live video, but you've been holding back because it's got to be perfect, you think you got to have the right gear, we've shared some ideas, don't. Just dive in and take a chance. And if I can help you, let me know. You can hit me up anywhere on social media at Kevin Colby Media. You can also find more about me at kevincolbymedia.com. We're live every Wednesday, 10 o'clock, Facebook, and now YouTube. So let me know how I can help you. You have a great day. Keep creating. See you next time.